Yo, boys, what's good? So today, unfortunately, took two losses, negative 2R on the day with three trades that we took. I think my execution was pretty solid today for the most part. Just did not play out. Kind of, kind of an odd day price action wise. We're gonna see if this lets me do anything without bugging out too much. But these are the two trades I took on ES and then one on NASDAQ for pre-market. All right. So going in. Might be better if I replay this. See if I can successfully replay this crap. Alright. Don't mind all the fair value gaps. Okay, so basically, pre-market, we had stacked lows. There's a low here, then like current session low, Asian or London session low, Asian, another low, bunch of lows to the downside. We're trending down. The real drawn liquidity, I would say, would be all-time highs, which was up here. But pre-market, it's not going to make that move, obviously. And we're getting really close to these lows, so I was really liking these. And then right before these lows, we inversed this gap here. This is a 15-minute gap. It inversed it. So you can see here, inverse this gap. There was not much else for gaps to tap into. Everything else was like really wicky. But we did tap into this gap. Okay, so we tapped into this gap and then we inversed this 1 minute gap. Only thing was on ES at the time. I think I can hopefully show this. We're respecting this 1 minute gap and then we're trending up. So I didn't love that. I wanted to wait a little bit more just for some more confirmation. I wasn't feeling the best on it. But for the most part, I mean, everything's there really. We got fair value gaps. We got a good, strong drawn liquidity. We have a break even point, which is right here. Looking pretty solid in my opinion. So, just some more confirmation either for ES to finally inverse that gap or for us to get a little bit more displacement, and then I'll just put the stop here instead. Instead, we ended up waiting, came back in, tapped the gap again, and then we got strong displacement with break structure. And then I put a limit order in to get a good fill on that retrace here to get the stop that I wanted and be at the risk that I wanted. So perfect entry right here, I'm not going to lie. And it played out really well. Come down, we hit the break even point and we stop me out at break even. Then what happens the next? We come down and hit take profit. Unfortunately. Feel get there. There we go. All right. We hit take profit. We would have been at 2.25R roughly. Yep, right there. Oh, it's lagging again. Sweet. It did not hit the third draw, which was somewhere in here. But I mean, the read on that was pretty good. Very strong rejection off this low, which was kind of crazy. But I mean, I'm doing the right thing. I had a break even point, and we did what we were supposed to do. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I would be upset if it hit this and then stopped me out all the way up here. So I think that was definitely the right move, even though it hit. It is what it is. And then from that point on, there was no re-entry to go short. We turned around, started being bullish, and we're getting close to market open. So at that point, I just waited for the market to open, and we'll see what we could get during market open. Apologize if I sound tired as heck. It's because I am tired as heck. Got 2 hours of sleep. Had to work it last night. 2 hours of sleep. Not really sleep, just a nap. I'm gonna go back to sleep here after this recap, but pretty tired. Anyways, I'll get through it. So market opens instantly, wicks down, take out that low. On ES, however, we did wick down, but we're coming up. We wicked down into these gaps, but I wasn't trying to take a trade right away. Like the first minute in a market open, it came into these gaps, but that's not a sign really, in my opinion. But then we end up just shooting up. So 3 candles and we take out the first draw. And then following that, I am wanting longs because we sweep lows on Nasdaq. I'm not expecting if I'm expecting both pairs to go one direction, I'm not expecting ES to come all the way down and try to take these out after Nasdaq swept lows. So I'm more thinking, okay, all-time highs are right here, even closer on Nasdaq, and I much rather see we got a sweep to the downside already than we start rotating up. And it was a stronger sweep to the downside. It was session lows, not just the current session high right here. So I was definitely looking for longs more so. We had a lot more volume with ES coming up. And then just waiting for anything really to get an entry on this. And we did tap into a 1 minute gap and then got displacement out of it. We got a wick up and then we got some displacement. So that was enough for me to enter long. Personally, looking back on this trade, I would have liked more confirmation. Just because it's only 5 minutes into market open. It's only a 1 minute gap. But I mean, 1 minute gap trades have worked in the past. We do have a strong draw on liquidity, so that was good. It just did not work out. NASDAQ, as you can see, we just took out some more lows, took out the Asian lows, took out all 4 draws. I think that's a lot of the liquidity, and I want to see some movement for that. So that is pretty valid and solid in my opinion. And we do actually start shooting up pretty aggressively. We shoot up, come down a little bit, but unfortunately ES didn't shoot up. It just stayed basically right there. ES started losing volume even though NASDAQ was making some bigger moves. And then we come all the way down. Well, I start chopping actually sideways, but then we stop me out and we're back in that gap. At this point, I'm not sure really what I'm looking at if we're looking to go short, but if we're trying to go short, there's not a lot for me to do at this point. I need like a gap tapped in, but I mean, we're moving sideways. So at this point, Nasdaq starts slowly moving up. ES is moving sideways. We move sideways for 20 minutes, literally 20 minutes. From this point, 32 to 52, we're moving sideways for 20 minutes. That was painful to watch. Nothing, no fair value gaps, nothing to go off of at all. And at this point, we're just waiting to see if something will happen. So we do tap a gap here in 1 minute downtrend, but at the same time, my bullish bias is definitely stronger than trying to target all the way down here at the moment, at least, until we get something that is very strong to target downside. So, and then these gaps, I think this is just a 5 and 15 minute gap. We're just tapping back into, just trying to see what happens off this. So after that tap here, we actually start getting some moves down. So now I'm kind of looking like, okay, we're now respecting these bearish gaps. I'd be fine with shorts at this point. And more displacement on ES, of course. Wasn't trying to take this trade. I could have and we would have banked on it, but I mean, it's not much confirmation for me. Not like this one where we're getting the volume to the upside and the strong draw. That's the big thing. We have a strong draw up here. We don't have a strong draw down here. These straws are already taken on NASDAQ. Yeah, you can target them on ES, but at the same time, all-time highs is going to be way stronger than these. Not really loving that. So, and then underneath that, it's just fair value gap, and that's it. There's nothing else down there. So not great to the downside, in my opinion. But at this point, if we get some solid confirmation, that's kind of the point where I will, because I'm watching price action. I'm not really stuck to my bias of being bullish. I'm looking at price action, trying to see what price action is telling me. Price action will tell me where it's going to go. So we just listen to that. We wait patiently. And at this point, I want some gaps to get tapped for me to enter. On ES, I think this is a 3 minute gap right here, if I'm correct. 3 minute for value gap right here. And then on NASDAQ, actually, in that same area, we got a 5 and a 3 and this 15 all right in this zone. So if we get to tap into that, that is enough for me. If we get some decent displacement, that is good confirmation, and which we do. So we tap into that exactly, and I think we get displacement, pretty strong displacement right there. Perfect. Even stronger on ES. So this is like perfect for me. We get just a slight tap into this wick down, displacement down. That's like peak right there. That's what I'm looking for. And then we get a wick in. That we get a solid entry on that for the most part. We get almost 2R to the London low, break even point right here. And instead we just run up with strong volume to the upside. We don't, so in this move down, so we come all the way up from the top here, all the way down. This move down, it taps into absolutely nothing. We don't sweep anything. We're sweeping 3-minute lows, maybe 5-minute, maybe not even 3-minute lows. We're sweeping some 3-minute lows. Apparently that was enough for it to shoot all the way up. I don't know what the point of that was for the large move down, just to come all the way back up. But that is basically what I kind of went with today. Wow. Absolute tank. Let's see how, yeah, so stopped out, and then, man, that is unfortunate. And so the thing is why did it come up even higher? It didn't tap into another gap. The only gap that it tapped into was the one that was already tapped into, and then it kind of inversed it, and then we're up here for some reason. NASDAQ, same exact. NASDAQ didn't even retrace as high, even though it's the more, I guess NASDAQ is slightly more bearish, but we still would have been stopped out on NASDAQ if we took out NASDAQ, because I would have been most likely like, yeah, for sure I wouldn't not have had to stop above that gap here. Wow, nice slow MacBook. Oh, moving on its own. Cool. So that's basically it. I think it's just really bad price action day. Variance didn't really want to play out for me today. Wow, just moving on its own. So I mean, there's not a lot I can do. I'm hopping off the charts, gonna go take a nap. I did what I was supposed to. I would take these trades any other day. This one especially, this is an A setup for sure. This one is more of a B. I don't really like the 1 minute alone fair value gap entries. I like the stacked ones like this situation. But at the same time, we had strong volume. I think it's a solid B. And then the first trade was for sure an A, which was unfortunately a break even. But solid execution today, I would say. I mean, could we get in some of these moves? Maybe. I just don't foresee, in my opinion, like, I'm not really loving the bearish bias. I mean, yeah, obviously the bias was bearish now, but looking at it, like, we're trending up. We got all-time highs. ES was even closer. ES was more, or NASDAQ was more bullish actually before all those draws got swept. But we're up here. Yeah, we inversed a 1 minute gap or 1 hour gap, but that was only on one of the pairs. All-time highs are right here, but obviously we're tanking down for whatever reason. That is kind of the move for today, apparently. So it is what it is. Like I said, we did what we're supposed to. There's nothing else I can really do. We executed, took some solid trades, did not over risk. We risked exactly what we're supposed to. The one account that we're risking on, we're risking kind of aggressively compared to, I would say, compared to my other accounts. I'm kind of like risking the whole account, I would say, on this strategy. So either the strategy proves that it works and we get some money, we get some payouts on this account, or it gets blown and it is what it is, and then we see from there. But technically only down 0.5R on the week with the strategy. Unfortunately, we were down 1.5 yesterday just because of the stupid trade sinker issues. So technically we're down 3.5R on the week, which should not be the case, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna go take a freaking nap. I really need it. Take a nap. We're gonna probably hit the gym today. Not really sure what I'm doing exactly, but for sure need some sleep. So I'm gonna go get some sleep, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you in the next one. Good luck. Peace.